Hi, this is Professor B, and today I'll be talking about Chapter 3, the Colonial Crucible. The rule by Spain and Portugal lasted about 300 years. And the legacy of the conquest and slavery remained strong until the 1800s. And some of the influences are still visible today in the Latin American society. They adopted the hierarchy and they lived together, but they also fought a lot. The priority of the Portuguese and Spanish crown was to gain economic wealth. And to do this, they had the mines that produced silver and sugar plantations that shaped the colonial economy. Gold was found in Latin America, but it was exhausted very quickly, and silver and sugar became the main sources of the economy. So today we're going to talk about silver, which is the main source of revenue for the Spanish crown. And there were two mines, silver mines, one in Zacatecas and one in Potosí. So Zacatecas was in the Viceroyalty of New Spain and the current Mexico, and Potosí was in the Viceroyalty of Peru, the current Bolivia, and they were opened in the 1540s. The sedentary inhabitants attracted indigenous migrants from central Mexico. And the migrants also became miners at Potosí, and the mountains were as high as 12,000 feet above sea level. For the 1600s, Potosí became one of the most popular cities due to the job demand in the mines. A lot of the migrants came to work in Potosí. It created a secondary economy. So there were mules grown in Argentina to provide transportation, and indigenous women were weaving to dress the miners. And at the lower altitudes, they will do farming, and they will send food to the workers. So there's a primary export production, which will be silver, that stimulates the secondary supply activities, which will be the mules, the cloth, and the food supply. The Peruvian capital was established at Lima, near a seaport. In Mexico, the routes connected all the way from the northern part with Mexico City to all the way to Veracruz. Northern Mexico was a meeting point for all sorts of people, but the south was a concentration of indigenous population, the Zapotec, the Mixtec, and the Maya. Central America and the Caribbean supported the northern silver mines with their supplies. And here's a painting of Potosí. As you can see, as it was depicted, it depicts the colonial times. And this is Potosí today, which has beautiful colonial architecture. And you can see the rich past through the architecture. But today is one of the poorest regions of Bolivia. Here's the House of Treasury, La Casa de la Moneda. And I was able to visit it. So here you can see Profesora B. As you can see here, the mines of Potosí, the conditions of the miners have not changed very much from the colonial times. And everything is very primitive and is not a very good working condition. The crown tried to have taxes on the mining, and there was a 20% tax on mining that was called the Royal Fifth, and it was a big source of revenue for the Spanish crown. To monitor the Royal Fifth, they will create two viceroyalties established in the 1540s. One is New Spain, which is Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean, and Mexico City as the capital. And we have Peru, which is much of South America, Lima as the capital. The viceroys were appointed by the Spanish crown, and they came in the king's name to rule, and they came with a high court and the archbishop. They created a third viceroyalty in 1717, which was called New Granada in the modern Colombia because of the gold that was found there. And they created a fourth viceroyalty in 1776 called Rio de la Plata, port of Buenos Aires, Argentina, and this was to control the silver that came from Potosí. Peru and Mexico remained the core areas of Spanish colonization because of the silver. As you can see here in the map, you have the Viceroyalty of New Spain here, including Mexico City as the capital and the Caribbean. You have the Viceroyalty of Peru, which is this area, including parts of Chile and Lima as the capital. And here is the Viceroyalty of New Granada, because they found gold in this area. And finally, we have the Viceroyalty of Rio de la Plata, which is in the port of Buenos Aires, and they created this to control more the silver taxes from Potosí. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye!